Justice is doing mercy to those who are suffering, delivering the oppressed, helping the widow and the orphan. And so justice is, under a law of love construct, is delivering the oppressed, not punishing the oppressor. That's what it is. Now, Keith Johnson, who is an online follower and friend of our class, has worked for years in prison ministry, teaching inmates about God's design law and helping them move past the imposed law constructs. And he's developed 4 questions to help understand more clearly justice from the design law view. And so here are the 4 questions. What if I told you that your youngest child was murdered? Would you want mercy or justice for the perpetrator? Just think about that. You don't have to answer out loud, but think about it. Your youngest child was murdered. Would you want mercy or justice for the perpetrator? What if I told you the murderer was your oldest child? Cain and Abel. The oldest child is now the murderer. Would you want mercy or justice for the perpetrator?
Good answer, yes. You want both?
What if I told you you are guilty of the murder of the only begotten Son of God? Do you want mercy or justice as the perpetrator? And you imagine people living at level 4 thinking with these questions. You see how it really kind of blows them up. And then here's the last question. What if I told you you had a daughter, your only daughter, the apple of your eye, who had never given you a moment's grief, but tonight, as her father, you happen to have a tux hanging in the closet because tomorrow you are scheduled to walk your daughter down the aisle and give her away to someone you approve. If you're the mother, you have a new dress hanging next to the wedding gown, and you've been planning on preparing for this since she first arrived in your arms. But tonight, your daughter is at a bachelorette party with her peers, and they talk her into having one for the road, the first ever in her life. 2, 3, 4, 6 drinks later, while on her way home, she wipes out a school bus full of children on their way to camp. Everybody aboard the bus dies in a fiery inferno, but your daughter survives. Do you want mercy or justice for your daughter? And what do those who are related to the victims on the bus want? Human justice is based on human law, imposed rules, and is always motivated by selfishness, seeking for revenge under the name of justice, vengeance. The selfish heart has an ingrained sense of justice, but which in reality, if you actually look at it, is no more than vengeance, which is easily exposed, because justice of that vengeful heart, that selfish heart, is only sought when it doesn't apply to you and yours. Then you don't want justice if it applies to you and yours. See, it's not real justice. Justice in God's universe is entirely different. God's justice always seeks to deliver, to heal, to restore, to set right, to fix, and to save everyone who will allow God to do so. It is the justice of love, the law of God upon which his government runs. That's his justice. Thoughts about any of that?
I think that's why when the Bible says, vengeance is mine, I will repay, it's good to pay attention to that, because when we're wounded by somebody in our human framework, we want vengeance. We want them to, we think, big brother, get them. But I think God is saying, leave their disciplinary actions to me, because I'm actually seeking to save this person. All you want is revenge on them.
And then vengeance under level 4 is the revenge. But vengeance under level 6 and 7 is what? What is vengeance under level 6 and 7?
Restoration.
Restoration. You're taking vengeance on the disease state, not on the patient who's sick. What is more vengeful to Satan, even if you look at it in that construct, than to take all of his soldiers and turn them into your friends? That's what God is trying to do. You read that in actual Corinthians, where it talks about that through let Christ take you who are enemies and turn you into friends through Christ. That's what God's trying to do. He's trying to turn us back to friends.